Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson. A lot of you might recognize the voice, but you're not seeing me. I was just at Juma Private Game Reserve doing Safari Live, but now back in the comfort of my own home. Just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your questions and comments as you might have. You can use the hashtag WildEarth on Twitter. You can join the conversation on our YouTube channel, or if you would like to, you can also subscribe on our website. So we're starting off at Victoria Falls with the beautiful vulture restaurants. You can see there's some whiteback vultures. One of the smaller ones are the hooded vultures. And there's also a marabou stork that's standing in the middle. Beautiful to see lots of different vultures all coming down, and it's almost like a vulture restaurant. And by that I mean it's an area where they'll often feed vultures with the remains of carcasses and things like that in one spot to try and keep those vultures from going into farmlands and things like that where cattle or sheep could potentially be poisoned. Vultures, they are quite vulnerable. They're on the vulnerable list. So to keep these vultures alive, I mean, they do such a great job by cleaning out our natural areas, dead carcasses and things like that. Apologies for that. The feed seems to have frozen, so we have now gone to Tau Lodge, which is up in Madikwe Private Game Reserve, and beautiful scene with some zebras and an elephant bull that doesn't want to be seen today. Soul Shatter PW1, you're saying, hey Chad, it was nice to have you on Safari Live. It's great to hear you on Live at the Waterhole. Thanks very much. I do appreciate the kind words. But for now, let's have a look at the weather and see what's going on. Does seem like a good day all around, and nice to see there's a little bit overcast at Tau Lodge. I think the animals are very, very happy with the overcast weather. Oh, seems to be a little bit of a fight going on here between these zebras. It's quite amazing to see. I mean, these zebras, when they fight, they've got a very mean kick as well as a mean bite. And I mean, sometimes males, when they are fighting for females, they can often kick one another's jaws and sometimes even break their jaws. That's why, I mean, even for a pride of lions to take down a zebra, they have to be very careful when hunting a zebra. And just like a horse, got a very, very mean kick. can definitely do some serious damage to a lion. Yeah, we seem to have got the feedback from Victoria Falls, so why don't we head over there to see some vultures feeding? There we can see the vultures coming in to feed. All just waiting their turn. Pete from the UK saying good morning, Chad, and welcome back. You're looking forward to a great couple of hours. Like me, Amy is doing a fantastic job at Juma. Thanks very much, Pete. I'm sure Amy is doing a wonderful job at Juma, and we actually got trained by the same people at and beyond, so our guiding techniques will most likely be quite similar. So I am very glad you are still enjoying it out there, Pete, and hopefully we've got a good couple of hours. You can see all these vultures, they're almost looking for the last little bits of scraps. You can see there's lots of smaller vultures, which those are the hooded vultures. And then the bigger ones, those are the white-backed vultures. I mean, it's unfortunately we lost the feed there again. I do apologize. We will try and sort that out. And I was going to continue on my thought there, but hooded vultures, they are like most other vulture species, where they primarily feed on like dead animals, carcasses and things like that, but that's not where their diet ends. They can eat birds' eggs. They sometimes will eat trash even. They'll eat some feces from other animals. So even insects like termites. I mean, those hooded vultures can basically feed on anything. So if there's not too many carcasses that are around, they are then able to get their nutrients from other places. Giraffe Girl is saying, good morning, Safari Bumblers. Good to hear Chad's voice, cuppa in hand. Let's travel the waterholes. Indeed, jump aboard with me and let's explore. Let's go travel to all the different waterholes and see what's been happening. It seems like all those zebras have run away. There are some birds that are spending a little bit of time here at the waterhole. Looks like a African spoonbill. And then there's an impala. And then looks like a grey heron. It is quite a distance from the camera. It does look like a grey heron. It is a little bit strange to be sitting in the comfort of my own home right now and back on live at the Waterhole. A little bit of a different view from when I was up at Juma. A couple of helmeted guinea fowls that are wandering around the waterhole. But we're going to just have a quick scan around and see if there's anything else very interesting happening here at Tau Lodge. Seems like all the weavers have gone from that tree there the last time I was on. There's still a couple of weavers that were hanging around. Some red-knobbed coots. I'm just feeding in the... This area around Tau Lodge always is very promising for lots of birds. There's quite a lot of grass cover. There's quite a lot of aquatic life around. There's a zebra with a foal, trying to get rid of all the flies that are around. You can see the zebras often, if you see a zebra up close, they're often almost twitching. Their skin is always sort of shaking, almost like a little twitching. That's said to try and get off all the flies and parasites that might be landing on the zebras. So next time you do see a zebra, have a look up close. See if you are able to see if you can see their skin moving. It does seem like it is a little bit of a quiet morning or afternoon now, 1:15. Oh, there's the herd of zebras. You can see as the zebras are even walking there how much dust there is around. It'd be nice if there was a little bit of rain to just settle all that dust. And always making sure that there's no threat around before they do come down wandering towards the water. I mean, even bigger animals such as buffaloes, when they come down to drink, they'll always stop before the water, have a look left, have a look right, make sure that there's no pride of lions, like the Nkuhuma pride, that might be waiting around the water for them, and then they'll come down to have a drink. I mean, you can imagine how vulnerable they must feel with their heads down while drinking. They can't look around. You can even look at the body language of the zebra that's just come down to drink now. Looks like it is quite nervous to be there close to the water. Something that might prey on it will probably be something along the lines of maybe a big crocodile. It would be very tough, this area, for lions to hunt. Because if you look, I mean, there's no cover quite close to the water where these zebras are now, so something like a pride of lions might struggle to hunt around this area, but something like a cheetah. Maybe this would be a good area for a cheetah to hunt. Juliet, you saying welcome back, Chad. Thanks very much. We really enjoyed your stint on safari. I appreciate that. And I am enjoying being back at home. Thank you very much for asking. And you're looking forward to the waterholes and hoping for giraffe today. Well, Juliet, I do hope we are able to find you some giraffes. And a lot of the time, the giraffes have been spending around Old Danu. That's where I've had most of my sightings at live at the waterhole. So hopefully at some point the giraffes will come down. I'll make sure that we do cross over to Old Danu if they are there for you. Yeah, Juliet, well, your wish might come true. We're going to cross over to Old Danu and see what's happening there. Oh, wow. Look at this. Juliet, your wish has come true. Oh, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 giraffe. How beautiful are all these giraffes together? I mean, very, very different, beautiful colors. It does look like they're all male, so it's a excuse me, small little bachelor group all together. You know, it's quite nice to be lots of giraffes coming down to the water. I mean, nice height advantage, able to scan around, see if there are any predators might be lurking around here, while the others take a nice drink. Drive Bunny, 100%, you're saying a lovely tower of giraffes. Beautiful tower of giraffes, and if they do start wandering off, we'll call it a journey. A beautiful journey of giraffes. Juliet, it's only my pleasure. I'm glad you did ask for giraffes because they were drinking it all on you. And yo, lots and lots of them, huh? So many. Does look like there might be a storm that's incoming to Old Donyu. You see lots of grey clouds in the distance. Must be very difficult for these giraffes to drink. I mean, just imagine trying to get that massive neck of yours all the way down to the water. And I think that's also one of the reasons that they're not very water dependent. Giraffes don't necessarily have to drink. They will drink when the water is available to them. But they won't make a mission to go get water. Soul Shatter, you're saying that the second from the left is so distinctive. It is very, very distinctive. It's amazing how giraffes can all differ. I mean, there was that one giraffe, beautiful big male on Juma that was very, very easy to distinguish him. Just like this one, it's a lot lighter in color. You see there's some red-billed oxpeckers that have joined the party now. Such a beautiful scene that we've got here. Right on how nice and peaceful it is just to sit back and relax and just take it all in. So welcome back, everybody. And if you did miss the town hall last night, we've got a petition going. So during the town hall, about WildEarth situation in the news that MultiChoice has not agreed to pay WildEarth for being on DSTV and sharing the African stories with the world. Avia started a petition to appeal to MultiChoice to change their minds. We, of course, support this initiative, but we want to ask for your help to spread the word about this petition as well as our donation drive throughout everybody's community. And your support in this will be a great value in making it possible to continue sharing Africa's wildlife with the world. And we need 10,000 signatures on the petition. So please do head over to all our social platforms and you can find the link there to sign that petition. And we're also needing 130,000 US dollars for the donations. And if you would like to donate, any amount will help. It will go a long way. And you can head over to wildearth.tv/donate. And you can then follow the links there. But please do, everybody, help us keep this WildEarth family together and keep us going in the right direction. Kishan Phipps. I do enjoy that name. You're asking, do they have any babies in the group and what time of year do they give birth? So they won't have any babies within this group because this is all males. So it's a bachelor herd of males. And giraffes, they actually give birth throughout the year. There's no specific breeding season that the giraffes will breed in. So any time of the year you can see baby giraffes. Big H, they don't sleep standing up. So giraffes will pretty much lie down exactly like camels will. They almost tuck their legs in and then they lie down and they keep their head up. They don't lie flat. And it's very tough for a giraffe to get up if they do lie flat. So they keep their heads up. I have seen it sometimes where they almost tuck their head into their armpit area when they are sleeping, but I've only seen that once or twice. Mostly they all sleep in an open area with their heads up. And just a reminder to all the viewers, please do not donate to change.org, where you should rather donate on the WildEarth website. If you log on to the WildEarth website, you can follow all those links there and it will send you in the right direction. How beautiful is that? It looks like it is bucketing with rain behind those few giraffe there off to the right hand side. You can see all the rain coming through. Beautiful scene that we've got here. Lots of ox pickers that are coming down to clean these giraffes, all those ticks that they might be picking up. Wendy H, you asking are they waiting for something to eat? From Port Elizabeth. Hello, Wendy. So Wendy, they won't be waiting for something to eat. So, and you'll often find giraffes during the heat of the day, because they are ruminants, so they've got 4 chambers to their stomachs. What they'll do is you'll often find giraffes literally just resting. And what they do is they'll then regurgitate the food of theirs, so they'll be able to, what they've eaten in the early hours of the morning, they'll be able to regurgitate that food to get all the necessary nutrients out of that food. And they often do that during the heat of the day so that they don't have to move around and use unnecessary energy during that time. So they're not specifically waiting for anything. I mean, if they wanted, there are lots of trees around the area where they are able to go and feed on. I'm not too sure if everybody did see the video, but the video popped up on my phone the other day of the giraffe and the elephant having a bit of an altercation here at Old Donyu. Apparently there was a highlight of the sighting on the show, but I mean that was incredible to see and very sad that the giraffe did unfortunately die, but it just shows you how, I mean, one thing, like it can be very relaxed and calm and watching a giraffe, next thing, all carnage. Animals running, the tusk just nicked that giraffe and unfortunately did pass away. But those lions have been hanging around Old Donyu, coming down to the Waterhole to have a drink every now and then to help with the digestion. I think those lions are going to be very happy feeding on that giraffe for a couple of days. Well, while talking of those lions, why don't we show you a little highlights clip of some lions coming down to the water to drink. So how beautiful is that? You can see that their bellies are hanging quite low. Beautiful young male lion on the left hand side, and I've always wanted to see lions drinking from this waterhole just because it's like almost eye level with them. And this is magnificent. See, even these lions, when they're coming down to the water to drink, keeping a lookout what's happening. I wonder how far the giraffe carcass is from here, but I wouldn't think too far. It did look like quite a serious laceration to that giraffe. Oh, well, we've spent some amazing times with these giraffe, and Juliet, I hope you are still watching. You got your giraffe fix for the day, but for now, let's head over to another location and see what's come down to drink. Welcome to Mabula in the Waterberg, with a small little herd of buffalo that's come down to the water. Most likely had a drink already, and now they're just resting up. It seems like it is quite windy up in the Waterberg. Maybe those buffaloes are trying to get out of that wind. There's a very young buffalo there. You can just, excuse me, you can just see it in the long grass. Just moving around, and I think that might actually be Mom. That's just standing up there, and maybe she's going to allow for this youngster to have a suckle. Lucy Kachodi, I hope I've got that name correct. If I haven't, I apologize. You're asking where is Mabula situated. So Mabula is in the Waterberg, which is in the Limpopo province. It's up north from Johannesburg. About like 3 hours, I would say. Somewhere around there. There's quite a lot of timeshare that you can rent out units and go on game drives, daily game drives and things like that up at Mabula. And then obviously they've got this beautiful little waterhole with the camera for us. How beautiful is that buffalo bull? The back left of picture. You can see that beautiful big boss or the crown And that's to be able to protect the brain when these buffaloes are fighting. I mean, you can imagine 800 kilograms to a ton running at one another. The brute force, when they do collide, can be quite extreme. So they're going to need that protective layer on the brain. It does look like there's a herd of zebra. It's on the other side of the water here, and it's a little bit sad to see, but there's not too much greenery. The last time they had quite a lot of rain at Okaguyo before I went up to Juma, and it was looking quite nice and lush around the water, but it seems like most of that greenery has been eaten by a lot of the animals that come down to Okaguyo to drink. These animals are going to have to start venturing a little bit further away from the water to go and find the necessary nutrients. Looks like that zebra's waiting for the foal to finish drinking before it does continue off. That's very nice of it. Looks like a small herd of kudu. Is it kudu? Oh no, it looks like some impalas. Just by looking at the shape of the horns. Looks like it's a very calm and peaceful day here at Ukugoya. I mean, literally doesn't look like there's a breath of wind. You can see the water almost looks like it's glass. Just a reminder to everybody that this is live and interactive, so please do send through your questions and comments. Any questions you might have for me, even if it isn't necessarily regarding what we're looking at. Any questions you might have about the bush, please do send them through using the hashtag WildEarth on Twitter or on X, or you can join the conversation on our YouTube channel. If you would like to subscribe, you can then do so on our website. As I've said that, it seems like the wind has definitely picked up. I actually saw the other day, I saw a black rhino coming down to wallow here at Ukugoyo, which was my first time to see. I know a lot of the viewers have told me many a time that the beautiful rhino is coming down to wallow, and I was amazed to see it. And we do seem to have lost Ukugoyo now, but Juma Private Game Reserve. I feel like I was just there. apologies for that. We also seem to have lost Juma. It might be some technical difficulties. I'm sure tech is working on it. So hopefully we'll have those feeds back up and running shortly. We are back with the giraffes. They can actually see, so I was talking a little bit earlier about the giraffes and ruminating, and this giraffe is doing exactly that. You see it's ruminating, regurgitating the food as a cud ball, and then trying to get all the necessary nutrients out of that food before they then swallow it again. So like this would also be a good opportunity for the giraffes to just lie down, a little bit cooler weather, make use of that ruminate to ruminate. Whereas a lot of the other animals, if you think about like an elephant, for instance, elephants, they have to eat somewhere around about 5% of their body weight, 3.5 to 5% of their body weight. And they also don't digest a lot of that. They only digest 30 or 40% of their body weight. And so for them, they constantly have to always be moving to feed and to gain energy. Martin Bushman, you saying, are you wearing your lucky sandals, Chad? Martin, I am not wearing my lucky sandals. I actually am not wearing any shoes currently. Maybe tomorrow I'll have my lucky sandals on for you. It seems like the lucky sandals did take off. Everybody really enjoyed them, and a lot of the viewers were even saying that I should have left the sandals behind at Juma, but it seems like they've been having some great sightings, and I saw Tlalamba had a kill in the on the ground close to Marula Tree, so hopefully she does hoist that at some point. Oh, we're gonna head to a location that I've actually never been to. I'm gonna head over to some penguins. How beautiful is that change in scenery? Betty's Bay in the Western Cape. So there's one penguin just standing on the rocks. Seems like most of them have gone into the water, maybe looking for something to feed on. It's amazing how this Live at the Waterhole show can bring all different waterholes and areas right to the comfort of your own home. I mean, this for me is a first to see the penguins here at Betty's Bay. And also amazing to just hear the waves of the ocean crashing. Those penguins might be swimming around there because you'll get a lot of fish that are swimming around all these rocks in this area. They might be looking for any food that's available to them. Juliet, you asking if I see all the camera feeds and then choose what to show, or am I fed the most interesting shots to talk about? So, Juliet, I don't necessarily see all the different feeds, but the director, who I'll be talking to through another, or she'll be talking to me through another headphone, she is telling me what's happening. So, like for instance, now if something's amazing happening at Aldonyu, she'll say, okay, let's cross over to Aldonyu where there's some giraffes, and then I'll say, okay, let's go over to Aldonyu. So I'm seeing exactly what you are seeing. I suppose, Lankov, you're saying, so great to see the penguins at Betty's Bay again. They are such amazing birds. Have I seen the local dussies and reptiles? I haven't seen any of the reptiles or dussies, I must be honest. This is the first time that I'm actually seeing these penguins on Live at the Waterhole. So hopefully at some point I'll get to see the little dussies. I've seen numerous people posting about the dussies and things like that in Betty's Bay, but personally I have never. Sandy Franklin 69, good afternoon to you. Saying, wow, didn't know you had penguins. Sandy Franklin, me too. It's amazing though that literally it's been 3 weeks since I did a Live at the Waterhole show, and amazing to have brought in a whole different aspect of the game with penguins down in the Western Cape. RJT saying, hi everybody, sorry you arrived late to the party. No problem, at least you are here with us now. Saying, loving what you're seeing here now. Don't you just love penguins? Almost clumsy on land but so graceful in the water. They are indeed. I mean, I think RJT with those short little stubby legs must be very tough for them to move around, especially on rocks and things like that. I mean, where they're moving around now, it must be quite tough for them, but they are very graceful in the water. Well, I don't know if that penguin was almost about to fall over, if it was just trying to maybe dry off itself after being in the water. Almost like a vulture when it gets wet. Or they spread their wings wide open, try and dry off a little bit. Sandy Franklin, indeed, very, very cute. Suppose Longavar, I do think you can see Cape Wagtail along the coast around Betty's Bay. It would be quite tough to spot using this camera. But I'm sure if you had to make a mission out to that area, you would be able to see. And you're also wondering what um, I would like to see. And apparently, they have seen whales from this camera before, so that would be pretty insane to see a whale. The Cape Cormorants also, and then also a couple of the Dussies maybe. That would be a nice little change up to see. Beautiful to add the penguins onto the list here. I think being a penguin would be quite a nice life, spending it right on the shore of the ocean, having a beautiful view, lots of a variety of fish to pick from, to feed on. But I then also think it's a little bit tough having the great whites. Arctic Circle, you're saying you've truly missed Penguin Beach. Thank you for including it now live at the Waterhole. It's only our pleasure. I'm glad you are enjoying these penguins here at Betty's Bay. Catherine, you're saying that you need to visit that part of South Africa one day again. Sure. I personally, last time I went to the Western Cape was probably in trying to think now, maybe it's 2010, 2011. My brother was studying up in Stellenbosch University. It's been quite some time, so I'll also need to make a mission down to the Western Cape. Such a beautiful part of South Africa. Only a 2-hour flight from Johannesburg. Almost seems like the penguins are now sunbathing. You can just imagine that they're trying to maybe warm up a little bit, try and dry themselves off. Maybe even digesting all the fish that they would have caught while they were swimming around. Oh, getting sucked in by the current. Sonny Franklin, you're asking about the sharks and what shark species they are. So, I mean, you'll get the reef sharks, so a black tip reef shark, white tip reef shark, and you'll get the great whites that might be coming, bronze whaler shark maybe. Just trying to think now what other sharks you might get. The ragged-toothed sharks, they wouldn't go that far south. They need quite warm water to survive in, and I know they all gather, the ragged-toothed sharks, they all gather around Rocktail Bay, which is a little bit further north from Sodwana. They often then spend a lot of time there just before they give birth, and then they start to head back further south from there. So I think those would probably be the three main species: white tip, black tip reef shark, and the great white. I'm sure you'll get a lot of other species also. Those are probably the main three. Actually, it's quite calming even for me just to listen to the waves crashing on the rocks here and watching the water come up. Oh, and there they go. Maybe these penguins are waiting for a bit of a break in the waves before they then did decide to move off. It seems like it's very calm now. Might be nice for them to go out and look for anything that might be appetizing to them. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of different fish and krill and squids for these penguins to feed on. They often come back from feeding and then you see them standing and they've got this big bulge by their neck, and that often can be from all of them feeding. And that's just they'll then slowly digest all that they have eaten. Almost seems like there's always one that's just hanging around, keeping a lookout. Maybe it's the scout, looking for any potential threats that there might be around. Dale, you asking, you heard African penguins are endangered. They are indeed endangered. They are on the endangered list. And you're asking what their biggest threats are, and do I know their main predators? So I think their main predators, to be honest with you, Dale, like not 100% sure. But I will try and do a little bit of research. But I think they do get hunted by leopard seals and killer whales when they are in the water. Those are their two main threats. I mean, if you think about the size of a killer whale, it can eat many a penguins, being very small and quite vulnerable. But they don't have many land predators. So it's only really when they are in the water. But I mean, they do spend quite a lot of time in the water, having to feed and all that in the water. So, and they've just got to be careful. There's lots of killer whales that might be around. So just a reminder, it is live and interactive. So please do send through your questions and comments using the hashtag WildEarth on X. You can join the conversation on our YouTube channel. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so on our website. Or you can also download the WildEarth app on any of the app stores. Jack 2, you're asking about the sea temperature. So the sea temperature in the Western Cape is often very cold. It's, very, very cold waters. It's the Gullis current, if I'm not mistaken. So it is very cold compared to like the Durban area, where it's the warmer waters. Dale, you're asking, do people eat penguins? Did the indigenous people hunt them at all? So I did just do a little bit of research quickly, and they say that people nowadays, they don't eat penguins, but back in the day, the Arctic explorers used to eat them. And the main reason that they don't really eat them is because often penguins are in areas very remote, where human habitation isn't the best, so you won't find too many people eating the penguins. Sandy Franklin, you're asking what do infant penguins look like? So, infant or baby penguins, they're born completely covered with grey, white, or brown plumage. And as they're like almost very, very fluffy, very cute little babies. And as they do grow a little bit older, they then start to grow out of that fluffy plumage. Aldi, you're asking, do penguins drink salt water? Um, so I do believe that penguins, they do drink salty water. Most penguins, they live in environments which is pretty much no fresh water. And so they've adapted to be able to drink the salt water, and they're able to then balance their salt levels within their bodies. So they do indeed drink the salt water, and the cormorants. RJT saying the life of a penguin is perilous one. Killer whales and leopard seals are predators you'd rather not encounter. Indeed, I wouldn't like to encounter a leopard seal or a killer whale. We've spent quite a lot of time here with these penguins. Why don't we head over to Camphor's Dam, see what's happening over there. And from penguins to flamingos. Beautiful to see these flamingos, and in Camphor's Dam you'll get both the greater and the lesser flamingo in these areas. These ones are the greater flamingos that we are looking at. Beautiful colors on these flamingos here, and a lot of them are just resting. You can see how they're putting their heads almost into their wings. Some of them are standing on one leg, some of them only on one leg, some of them still just standing on two. How amazing to go from penguins up at Betty's Bay to Kimberley with a beautiful flock of flamingos. Kellen, you wondering how old baby flamingos are when they're able to fly? And I think baby flamingos are somewhere around 2 or 3 months when they are able to fly. So, I mean, the first 2 to 3 months, they'll literally just be ground birds in the water and around. But after around about 2 or 3 months, they'll be able to then take off and fly with their parents to different waterholes, obviously following food and things like that. Always a hub of activity happening here at Campers Dam. I can just imagine the amount of nutrients in the water for a lot of the birds, and that's why you get a lot of different bird species coming down to drink. I hope I'm going to pronounce this name right. Gabriel Asmundusson. Apologies if I have got that wrong. He's saying, here's a little fun fact. The word for penguins in your language is... Also not going to try and say that. But it translates to fat blubber goose. Not very dignified, but cute nonetheless. Absolutely. Very, very cute. Thanks very much for that little fun fact. It's always nice to learn a different thing or two every day about nature. So thank you for that, Gabriel. It's actually quite incredible to see when these flamingos do feed and how they use that bowl of theirs to feed on. I mean, they pretty much feed on quite a lot. Things like algae, small little seeds, small crustaceans, some small shrimps, fly larvae, and any other sort of plants that might be growing in the shallow waters of the waterhole or wherever the flamingos might be. Kalen Jade, you're asking what actually makes the flamingos pink? And I'm sure it's got to do with their pigments in their skin, and you're saying that you've heard it's because of the shrimp that they eat. Might have to do a little bit of research on that to see if it is that, but I mean, I wouldn't say you are wrong. And I'll have to do a little bit of a check and see. It does say here that flamingos and the shrimp are both pink from eating a specific algae that gives them the colors, but it's that's very interesting. Then it says flamingos eat both algae and shrimp like critters, and it both contributes to their fabulous pinkness. Very, very interesting, Caleb. Thanks very much. Now we're going to leave these flamingos here at Campers Dam, and we're going to head over to Old Donyu, where we have a visitor. Tusker! If I'm not mistaken, this is 1 ton. The famous Tusker at Old Donyu. How magnificent are those tusks? Pretty remarkable. So it must be quite tough for this elephant even to go about the daily activities with that tusk. I mean, they're literally almost touching the ground. How magnificent. There was one time that I did get to see 1 ton, but the feed unfortunately froze, so we had to cross away. But how magnificent is this? Kanangul is saying he is stunning, never seen him before. I heard you all talk about him. A very famous elephant in this area around Old Donyu. I mean, how can he not be famous when you look at the tusks on him? Oh, cheetahs and other animals, yay, it's 1 ton. This is super elephantastic. Absolutely, it could not be any better. Having him here at the Waterhole by himself. How amazing are those tusks? It's almost something that I just want to keep quiet and just admire his beauty. You might be wondering how I say that it's a tusker. So tuskers are elephants that their tusks weigh over 100 pounds, or each tusk weighs over 100 pounds, which is somewhere around about 60 kilograms, if I'm not mistaken. Might be actually less than 60 kilograms. Might be 45 kilograms. It's 45 kilograms, apologies. So it doesn't have to be a specific length or anything like that, but their tusks need to weigh over 45 kilograms each, or 100 pounds. Or sometimes hear people talking of elephants with big tusks, and they just want to watch him as he walks away. People sometimes also call tuskers 100-pounders. It's basically the same thing as a how magnificent is that? Almost looks like he walks with a bit of a swagger, and I mean, why wouldn't you if you've got those phenomenal tusks? Beautiful to catch up with 1 ton. And there he goes, wandering off into the bush. How incredible was that, everybody? Man, definitely the highlight for me. Catherine, you're saying great to see him, to see he's still around. I've seen him 20 years ago. That's incredible. I mean, 20 years to have seen the same elephant, and they can live for up to 60 years old, but for you to have seen him 20 years ago, very, very special. Just a reminder to everybody watching, during the town hall last night, WildEarth situation and the news that MultiChoice has not agreed to pay WildEarth for being on DSTV and sharing African stories with the world. Viewers started a petition to appeal to MultiChoice to change their minds. And we, of course, are all for that. So there is a petition going around that it takes 30 seconds just to sign it. We're trying to get as many signatures as possible in order for MultiChoice to change their decision so that we can still broadcast all these amazing and wonderful things to you. Your support would be much appreciated. And then also, so we need in 10,000 signatures on the petition. And we also are looking for any donations would be much appreciated. We're looking for 130,000 US dollars for the donations. If you would like to donate, any donation is much, much, much appreciated. You can head over to our website, or you can go to wildearth.tv/donate, and you can then follow the links there. It would be very sad to not be able to broadcast all these wonderful things to all of you. But I'm sure with all the WildEarth viewers, we are going to get all the signatures. Now that 1 ton has disappeared, doesn't seem like there's too much happening right now at Aldonja. So let's head back over to Camphor's Dam with the flamingos. Nice and peaceful scene here at Camphor's Dam with all the flamingos, all the different bird species. Sandy Franklin, you're wondering how do you sign? So I think if you go onto any of our social media networks, X or Facebook, there'll be the petition should be up there. You can just follow the link and then you are able to sign on that. Amazing, those long legs. They're moving around slowly. Lucy Kochodi, you're asking if there are fish at Camphor's Dam. There definitely will be fish through Camphor's Dam. I think that's what a lot of the birds are feeding on. So you'll get things like tilapia that will be in the dam. And those tilapias, I mean, can vary 5 centimeters to 30 centimeters. There'll also be catfish or barbel in the water. I'm sure there'll be different other species as well. So that's also what brings a lot of these birds down to this specific waterhole. A lot of food availability. So we do only have a couple of minutes left of the show, and it's been a nice, peaceful show. I mean, the highlight definitely was having the 1 ton coming down to the water to drink. And just to spend some time with those penguins out at Betty's Bay, first for me. I really did enjoy that. I'm sure these flamingos are just utilizing the nice cooler weather, or the heat of the day to rest. As it does then cool down a little bit later on, they will then indeed start to feed a little bit more. There are some that are feeding, but a lot of them are just preening themselves, keeping their feathers nice and beautiful, taking out any older feathers that might be falling out. Dale, you're saying, thank you, Chad, for an awesome live at the Waterhole. It's only my pleasure, Dale. I'm glad you have enjoyed it. It has been quite a nice, calm live at the Waterhole. It's a little bit different to driving up and down at Juma looking for all those interesting characters. But it is nice to get back to live at the Waterhole. And it just continues because up next we'll have On Safari. It's the 24-hour recap of what's been happening on the ground at Djuma. Some interesting sightings. And then straight after that, the live safari will continue. So everybody grab your favorite beverage, a couple of snacks, and sit back, relax, put the feet up, and enjoy the rest of the show. I'll definitely be tuning in to see if one of the naturalists go to Tlalamba, see if she hasn't hoisted that kill. So everybody, it has been fantastic to be back on live at the Waterhole. I hope everybody has really enjoyed it and hopefully you learned something new. But I will be back on live at the Waterhole tomorrow, same time, the same place. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon, and we'll catch up tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody.